my very first review with the brand new camera in the brand new apartment. As you can see, stuff is still getting set up to some extent. Got 1D here in the background, chilling in the poster frame. Gotta wait for the command hook up there to dry. But new apartment, new camera, new things happening, whole new state, whole new. It's gonna be a whole new thing from now on, guys. I'm still gonna be the same mixtape and album reviews that you love, just with some more flair and different setting and all that stuff. But let's get into this one. This is one that was that I've been wanting to review now for a few days, and has actually been suggested to me via Facebook, and that is the new Logic project, his mixtape Bobby Tarantino. But Logic is a young MC who's been snowballing with momentum and popularity for the past 5 or 6 years really, but ever since he dropped his debut album, Under Pressure, on Def Jam a couple years ago, it's been nothing but good things and critical positivity with from critics and stuff. And then he dropped the Incredible True Story in October of last year, and from what I've been hearing, Logic has been putting out very good work. He has been quite the lyricist, has picked very good production, is very good with flow, which I have heard that, and concept. However, I will say that this is the first Logic project that I have heard ever. I've heard Logic do a couple freestyles. Here's the thing. Is, from what I understand, Logic is a very he's an MC that wants to be an MC, that takes his craft very seriously. This project is not typical Logic, from what I understand. This is not what I thought Logic would be, but after reading, what the concept of the project is, and what the inspiration behind it was in Logic's mind, this is not Logic's usual thing. This is something that he has put out, between albums. And I'll say this: the first thing, the beats on this thing are absolutely amazing. Flexecution, wrist, deeper than money, a nice chill beat to end the mixtape out. But Illuminatro kicks in. It was just backwards. Reverse talking, some nice singing coming in on that track as well, and a couple of the following tracks with Flexecution in the Jam. Actually didn't know Logic is married at such a young age, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm on my way there. But Logic is married, and his wife, who's, I believe her name is Andrea Barber, if I'm not mistaken, she's providing the vocals on here, along with John Lindahl. So really, kudos to both of them, because those two people together with that R&B styling, they sounded very good. As soon as the intro ends, it goes into Flexecution. Sounding good, the beat came on, I was ready. I wasn't expecting this. All of the beats being done, or primarily, from what I understand, by his in-house producer Six and Logic collaborating on these beats. I got very hyped up for this project, and I thought Flexecution is something that any rapper in any part of the world could have recorded. This is not anything special, and it continued that way with the Jam, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And that's kind of how it was for the first 3 quarters of this mixtape. I was very confused. I was like, this makes no sense. Why does Logic sound like this? This is not the hype that I've heard. This is, that's not it. And to be honest, the first 3 quarters of this mixtape sounds like Logic trying to do a little bit harder version, or his best impression of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. A lot of this stuff does sound very Drakey, not Drake's singy stuff, but Drake's harder stuff, his rap stuff. Even in the song Slave 2, track number 4, with the beat switch up being very Boy Wonder and 40 inspired. However, I will say this: I think that beat switch up was done way better than the two aforementioned producers could have done it, because it kind of caught me off guard, and it went from, you know, a nice, you know, smooth hip hop production to just this nice little slightly up tempo banger. Big kudos to the production on this thing, because the beats were nice. Oh, the beats were nice. I mean, just, you know, Deeper Than Money, a nice smooth instrumental to close it out. You know, Flexecution, the jam was dope. Wrist with Pusha T. Actually, surprisingly, the most lackluster feature from Pusha T that I've ever heard. Not bad by any means, because it is Pusha. It's King Push. Pusha's a dope MC, but with the Darkness Before Dawn, or whatever it was called, the Prelude album that he just recently dropped, was so good, and this feature was just kind of so-so, but they did sound good together on a track. They sounded great, and that was something I was kind of unsure about, because I love Pusha, and I was like, how's this collab gonna go? But they sounded great together on that. But like I said, the first 3 quarters of this album, I was very disappointed, very confused. I'm like, this is not what I thought Logic would be. But once you understand what he's doing with this project, and this is not really his you know, him being serious with this. This is kind of Logic's answer to everyone saying, okay, you're a deep thinker, yes, you're conceptual, you're spiritual, but where is the turn-up stuff? Where's the party stuff? Where are the bangers? And this is just a mixtape of Logic going, here, shut up, here's that, now let me get back to my regular thing. And that's really cool. While it wasn't as lyrical as I hoped it'd be, the production on this was, as I mentioned several times, fantastic. And Logic does kind of imitate some of the trap rowdy banger that's out right now with other artists, but he puts his own spin on it, speeding up the flow in the second half of Flexecution. And there's another line, and I don't remember what song it is. I want to say it's Slave 2, perhaps, or maybe 44 Bars, one of the two, where he says, I'm the best in my field, and I'm a slave to my race. The whole slave field thing, that was good. It wasn't as lyrical as I was expecting, but it did get there once it got past the studio ambience interlude. But really the highlight of this mixtape is the way it closes out with 44 Bars, Slave, and Deeper Than Money. 44 Bars is a pretty decent track. Slave, kind of bringing back some of the themes from Slave 2. The only thing that I thought could have really been left off this, in all honesty, were the skits. A word from our sponsor. You know, I get skits, but one, this skit, while I get kind of the concept, sort of, like, you understand what's going on in it, but I don't understand why it was put on this. You know, what does this contribute to the mixtape? You know, why, and more so, why are you having a 3-minute skit? You know, a skit shouldn't be longer than like a minute at the most when you have, you know, a release like this. That and the studio ambience interlude. I kind of get what Logic was going for, trying to, you know, preview some of the stuff that's going to be on the album, like, oh, you're not supposed to hear that. And I really don't on this mixtape. I just want to hear this mixtape, so I thought that was kind of unnecessary. The Illuminatro, wasn't feeling it at first, but the singing is okay. Would have shortened it up maybe a little bit. This is a project that I do kind of enjoy, with the exception of the skits, and the exception of just really a lot of using the God's name in vain on this, with OMGs and GDs and things like that. Didn't really want to hear all of that. That's not my thing. So aside from those two things, this was a cool project. Now, however, I would recommend, if you don't know Logic, if you don't listen to Logic, don't make this your first listen of his stuff. Don't do what I did, going into it thinking Logic's this great MC that everyone's talking about, let me check him out, and this is what you get, because I don't want you to shut yourself off to listening to him. But this was a cool project. I really love the beats on it. I love the energy that Logic does bring to it. I love the braggadociousness, because from what I understand, he's a very humble guy, and this is not his usual thing. So to see him kind of break out of his shell and compare it to other stuff now will be kind of cool. I'm feeling a C+. it really is kind of cool. Other reviews coming to the channel. The new Shawn Mendes album is coming out in September, so be expecting that in the next couple months. Yeah, man, Sean McConnell review, gonna try to work on it, and also a review that was suggested to me by a rapper named John Sally, or John Saye, something like that. I'll give that a listen. Anything else you guys want me to review, or any questions you have about the channel in general, how to submit music, all blah blah blah, leave it in the comments section below and I'll try to get to it. Or send me a message on Gmail and I'll let you guys know. But that's it, first review, so Merry Christmas. It's July.